Hey guys, hey guys, hey. Welcome to another Divine Taste cooking video. My name is Sharon and I will be making a really great vegetarian dish. I've often served it as an appetizer when we do events, and it is really delicious. It is black bean. Some people call it croquettes, some people call it fritters, some people call it burger bowls, mini bowls, whatever your heart's desire. It is pure deliciousness personified. So, right now, we're going to start by heating up this pan. Let me crank it up a bit. Yeah. Okay, we're going to start by placing some coconut oil. Some may ask why coconut oil instead of any other oil. Coconut oil adds a depth of flavor, really great flavor to the dish. Um, it's that kind of secret ingredient where people may say, I taste something, I can't put my finger on it. What is it? It is the coconut oil. And we will saute the vegetables in it. And that's not going to take too long. It should be fairly quick. As long as this heats up, we should be good to go. Let me use this instead. And yes, would have been nice to press the start button to help me get this started. I haven't used this in a minute. Usually we use this for our cooking classes, but so I'm getting a brain fog right now in terms of how to use it. This heats up fairly quickly, so I love using this in our cooking classes because it kind of you know one is safe. It's a safety thing because you could touch this and not get burned. It's technologically designed to heat up the pan, and there's a certain type of pan you need to use with this. So it is very functional in terms of safety. Let me turn this down because I know this bad boy can heat up like 1, 2, 3. So, okay. So I'm gonna take we have some red peppers and garlic and onions, red onions, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna eyeball. I'm not a precision cook, but the ingredients and the menu and the recipe will be in the description box. At some point, I will add that so you guys can take a look-see with that. So we're just gonna saute the red peppers and red onions in the coconut oil. So it's like, a nice little soft, translucent texture. And while that is sauteing, we're going to add the herbs and spices so it can also kind of get toasted and cooked and bring out the aromatic flavors of the spices as well. Kind of wakes that up too. Okay, so we're going to add, let's start with I like Mrs. Dash. You could definitely use something comparable. This recipe is very freehand. You can, make it your own. I'm all about incorporating your thing into this thing. uh, so we're gonna add some Mrs. Dash. We're gonna add cumin. This is a very important part that gives the black beans a nice, really nice Mediterranean-like flavor. Excuse me for my sniffling. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Just that, these flavors, these ingredients alone, it smells so good. Okay. I want to add a little more coconut oil to this. I think that's enough. Okay. I don't want it to be dried out. I want it to be, I want everything to really get nice and toasty. So I added some more olive oil. Okay, so to this, I'm going to add some sea salt. Of course, over the shoulder. I always do that. Some black pepper. Just a little tinge, because we're going to add some, I'm just so used to doing that, some cayenne pepper, or as they say in the hood, some Kanye pepper. Okay. Yeah, we're going to add some cayenne pepper to this, and that's going to give it a little bit of heat. So not too much. You do it to your liking. Now, the sauce that's going to go with this will complement, the heat. So you're going to get a really nice balance. We're going to make a nice yogurt sauce from yogurt to pair with this, which will go really nicely. Just a little adobo, because we put that on everything, mostly everything. Okay. I hope you guys can hear me, because I didn't do an audio check. I didn't do any. I just put it on, because if I didn't do that, I believe I would have psyched myself out and just cooked. And I really wanted you guys to see this. Okay, so I think we're done with this part. We've added, oh no, we have the garlic. I wanted to add the garlic last because I didn't want it, to burn. I just wanted to be incorporated, and just kind of cooked a little, because when you overcook garlic, it can get bitter. And I didn't want that in the dish. So I added at the end to kind of just give it a little, coating of all this goodness in here. Okay, so I'm going to take that, and as you see, it automatically comes off. Right, I'm going to take it, transfer it into this dish. So it's letting me know that it's off. If I wanted to turn it on, which I will, because we're going to fry them up. So I'm going to put this back on. Okay, let me turn this down. Okay, so as that gets hot, we're going to add the black beans. Now, this has been pureed. And I do a combination because I don't want the black beans to be so mushy that there's no texture. So I would say 80% pureed, 75, 80% pureed, and then what we're going to do with the black beans that are whole, we're going to kind of do a little rough crush with them. Take a fork and just crush it like that. Just so this will have a little texture and it won't be so mushy. I find that's a really good balance. So it's not like you're just eating mushy black beans. Okay, so we're gonna incorporate that into it. And we're gonna mix it all together. And give it a taste to see where we're at. I always say taste when you're cooking, taste every step of the way. Because you want to know if you need to add anything or, if it's just right or, if there's something else you're missing, so taste. Okay. At this point, I am going to try it to see. We need a little more, I would say, salt and adobo. I think the heat aspect is pretty spot on. Need some salt to wake all this up. And I think it should be good to go after that. I really, really do. Now, we're going to add breadcrumbs to this, but I don't want to add it right now. I want to make sure the flavor is where I want it to be. And that's because I don't want to, it's breadcrumbs, so you don't want to overmix that. You want to keep a really great balance. We're rocking and rolling. Okay. So I'm going to add like a half a cup at first to see where we're at. Mix that in. I think I need some more. Whoop. Now that may be too much, but I could work it out. That's what I do. Okay. Let's see where we're at in terms of consistency. The flavor is totally there, which is what we love. In terms of consistency, I think it's good to go. Because we're gonna make like balls, mini balls. Yeah, I think it's good to go. Let me just reach over here. Okay. Okay. So while the oil is heating up, because we're going to fry them up, while the oil is heating up, I am going to make, I'm going to wash my hands again because I'm going to be putting my extra energy of goodness and love into this. So I always say these are your best kitchen tools. Just make sure they're clean. That's the main thing. Main thing. Under your nails, the whole bit. That's why you'll see I usually don't have nails. It's not my stick. I mean, I like them. It's just that what I do, I have to be very mindful of, you know, making sure things are up to par in terms of cleanliness. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna make balls, and the size is really up to you. I would say this is cool. And if you can see, like that size, very easy peasy, right? Because we're gonna make a Israeli salad as well to go with it, and the sauce, the Greek yogurt sauce, total deliciousness going down today. What I love about this, you see the red flecks of the pepper, the sweet bell peppers. You see the garlic. You see the red onions. So that's all flavor that really gives the dish an added lovely flavor. And you see, I don't know if you can see, but um, the way the black beans are incorporated, where you have the majority of the portion pureed, and then you have um, the mashed, um, which has more, you know, gives it a nice consistency of texture. So it's not just mush; it's it's substantial. Okay, so I think I'm gonna let me see how many do I have? One, two, three, four. Let's make it an even 8 for now. This is what I'm taking for lunch. So I'm making my lunch for the week. And when you do that, you want lunchtime. You don't want something heavy because you're still at work, right? For those who have to go in, now I have to go in. You know, we're doing the hybrid model. Half in, half out. Work at home. So I'm going to put this aside. And I'm going to have my dredging station going on here. Okay, so we're going to coat it with flour, right? And I'm going to put all of them in the flour. And then from the flour, we do the egg wash. From the egg wash, we do the breadcrumbs. Now you could do panko breadcrumbs, would give it a nice little, you know, nice little crispy, extra crispy crunch to it. You can do regular breadcrumbs. You could do Italian. I have the black bean in my teeth. The choice is yours in terms of, which breadcrumb you want to use. What I'm using today, I would prefer panko because it gives it that, I think I don't know, it makes it a little more decadent, a little more, but I don't have it. So, and I wasn't going to go out just to get panko breadcrumbs. I will use what I have. This is what's going down for, when there's a shortage, or, you kind of have to be open enough to substitute, your items, because lately sometimes you don't get what you want, so you really have to substitute. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to coat it with the egg wash, take it out, put it in the breadcrumbs. I could use my hands for this. I just didn't want to do it for the egg wash because that gets pretty messy. Kind of shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Okay. So yeah, at some point, you're just gonna have to put your hands in it and just, make it do what it do. Okay. I think the oil is getting nice and hot. There's a way you can check and see if the oil is hot. Um, and I'll show you guys. I think just looking at it, it's ready, but I'll check just to be sure. If you have a chopstick or any wooden spoon and it bubbles, you put it in the oil and it bubbles around the edge of the wooden spoon. That means it's 100% ready for what you're frying. So while I'm almost done dredging, I just want to complete all of them because, or at least half of them. Yeah, yesterday we were at the market and it was super cold. It was so cold. I mean, it was truthfully the coldest day that we've been there. And I think it's because of the wind, because temperature-wise, it was not the coldest day. But, oh my gosh, that wind, when I tell you I love my customers who come out, to check for me, to patronize me, like, I love you guys. You guys rock to no end, and I will rock with you to no end. I appreciate that. As I know yesterday was definitely one of the days where you're like, I am staying home, I'm not going out. It's very cold. And we did pretty well considering it was a definite slow start, um, you know, um, to the day at the market. We were at South End Market in Charlotte, North Carolina, and um, we didn't do too bad. I always try to look at the bright side of things. Was it our busiest, best day? No. I mean, you have to take into account the weather, and definitely the elements were not in our favor. Normally, we have um, samples. Like, that's my easiest thing. Giving samples and that's it. Because once you taste it, it's an easy sell. Really easy sell. Well, yesterday I was met with a challenge. And it's funny because, summer markets poses a challenge. Winter markets pose a challenge. And being that this is our first winter market, there's always something you learn. So I, worked with my chafing dish and all of that stuff. It was not getting hot. It wasn't getting hot. So I literally it took so long to get hot. I definitely have to invest in a chafing dish that is, um, you know, element friendly, which it kind of blocks the wind and keeps the heat concentrated in one area. So yeah, I learned that. I learned that that exists, like, and I have to get it, and there's no way to do a market, like an outdoor market, without having something like that. So it's definitely something we need to invest in, for sure. Um, so yeah, let me put these aside because I am finished with that for now. I'll do the rest off camera. I gotta kind of wipe my area. I like to keep a nice clean area. One, it helps with, when you're done, you don't have all this craziness in front of you. Okay, so we have our black bean balls ready to roll. And let me pull this closer to me and see if it's ready. Now let me do the, oh, it could get hotter actually. It's not doing anything. So, okay. I don't want to put it on high to, okay, well now it is on high. All right, so we're going to wait. And while this is getting hot, what we're going to do, what could we do in the meantime and in between time? Uh, I say let's do the. No, let's wait on that one. You know what? Let's do the Israeli salad. The Israeli salad is made with Persian cucumbers, which the difference between Persian cucumbers and English cucumbers, the Persian cucumbers are sweeter. They're small, and sweeter. So it adds a depth of flavor to your dish. 1 minute. Let me bring this. Okay. Since I'm making a salad, I don't want it to be, I don't want the wetness of the bowl to interfere with the salad because we're going to add lemon juice and olive oil and all that goodness. Okay, so this is Persian cucumbers, right? Persian cucumbers, and I've strained it with a cheesecloth because you don't want the wetness of the cucumbers to really kind of make it a kind of mushy salad. So I like to keep the integrity of the salad. I want it to be crispy. I want it to, be crunchy, crispy, you know, add that layer of goodness. And when you let the ingredients marinate overnight, it intensifies the flavors. So you don't want the wetness of the cucumbers to um, come into play with that. All right, so we added the Persian cucumbers, the red peppers. These are tomatoes seeded. And whenever I have to seed tomatoes, I utilize the Roma tomatoes because they're a meatier tomato than like the other ones. So, so we can incorporate all these three ingredients. And I'm gonna add, this is parsley. So I'm gonna add, I chop some up, some fresh parsley, just eyeballing it. And we're gonna add some lemon juice, freshly squeezed. Just doing this to kind of catch the seeds. Okay. As we do that, we can add some olive oil, some really good olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Um, it's always good to have that handy. I have the gourmet kind uh, because sometimes I don't cook it, and it really makes a difference in the quality of your meal. So I'm going to add some, I'm eyeballing this too. The ingredients would be in the description box. When I'm done, I'll hook everything up for you guys. Yummy, yummy. I'm going to hit it with just some salt to kind of wake things up. And let me check to see if this is not making, to me it's going so slow. So let me put it on high because I'm like, okay. The only thing is I don't want it burning. I don't want it to burn I don't want it to cook so fast that it burns it. I like my food looking pretty. Okay, so this is good to go. We have a nice little Israeli salad. I'm going to taste it to see where it's at in terms of flavor. But it's really simple, but it really adds such deliciousness, especially with this dish and the sauce that we're going to make. It's going to just complement it so well. Okay, let me see. Let me take a look-see. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. We can put that there. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see. Yeah. I checked to see if this is the pot because I just pulled whatever. You know, with induction cooking, your pots have to have these holes at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's like the surface is specifically geared towards induction cooking, and it's the technology that speeds up the cooking. So um, let me see where we're at. Yeah, it's good to go. Okay, this is more than enough room in here for this last one. And so basically, we're just giving it that texture that we're looking for, that nice golden crispy crunch, because it's cooked. You know, the beans are cooked. The The spices, let me just grab one of these. They've been sauteed, so that's also cooked. So we're really just gonna brown the coating of that. The next thing we're gonna move to, once this is done, is the sauce, the Greek yogurt sauce, and that we're making with the English cucumbers, dill, mint, lemon juice, and lemon rind, and Greek yogurt, and salt and pepper to taste. So um, that's gonna complement this dish really, really well. So I'm gonna move this over as this cooks. I'm gonna keep an eye on it to make sure it has a nice brown color that is so inviting. Okay, so I took the yogurt and I put it in a cheesecloth to drain it. I did the same thing with the English cucumbers because you don't want the sauce to get too too liquidy, too wet. You want it to have a nice consistency. Okay, I just made a blue blue. Duh. I did all of that, and it worked because here's all the water from the yogurt. But then I just put the yogurt back into that. So, but it's all good. So we're gonna transfer it to another pan. Okay. So with this, we're going to add our dill. And I'm eyeballing it. I love dill. Dill with salmon is like the best. The best. I'm going to add the lemon rind. Now, the thing with lemon rind, you want to not over zest it, right? My rule of thumb when dealing with lemon and getting the rind from the lemon, you don't want the white part. The white part is bitter. You only want the yellow part, right? So my rule of thumb is 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. And you do that with the microplane. And this way, the bitterness from the white part of the lemon doesn't interfere with your meal. Okay, so we have a little mint. I'm just going to use a little. I don't want it to, the star of the show is the dill, right? Don't want dill in the cucumbers. Don't want it to overpower, right? So this is the English cucumber, and I have seeded it. And same premise, you don't want it to be too watery, so I squeezed it out in a cheesecloth, and even with doing that, sitting here, it still has a little bit of water from the cucumbers. It is so good. And we want to also squeeze the lemon juice. And I'm doing this to catch the seeds. Okay. Let me check on these cuties right here. Oh, look how they look so beautiful. They're looking so beautiful. Okay, Okay, we could stop. Let me. Okay. These are looking so good. Look at them. Oh my goodness. How beautiful. I was wondering when that was going to stop. Pressed it. So. Okay. See? How beautiful. Okay. So we're going to let that kind of drain off while we mix this delicious sauce. And remember, this is the homemade tzatziki sauce. Greek yogurt, English cucumbers, lemon juice, lemon rind. What else? Dill, lovely dill. Have a little bit of mint. And that's optional. The mint is definitely optional. I like to give my stuff a little pizzazz sometimes. So, and of course, some salt to wake up the flavors. And we can do a tinge of black pepper. Not a lot, just a little. Just a little bit. Okay. And of course, we're going to taste it to see and make sure it's where we want it to be, flavor-wise, of course. Let me use this hand. Holy freaking moly. This is some good stuff right here. I don't want to grab one of these. Okay. This is so good. And you see how simple it is? Like, it's done. You know, when I do events, this is how I plate it, right? Right? And then you have a piece of dill on top. This may be a little too big, but we'll see. A little piece of dill. I need my food tweezers. Yeah, I have them. So I could place the food where I want it to be, so it could look nice and pretty. Okay, so we're done. We're totally done. Totally done. And look how pretty. Look at this. This is really good. Super easy. For all you vegetarians out there, this is what I'm pairing it with. Some roasted garlic naan. So we're going to have a little, sandwich, little falafel. Without the falafel, we're going to have black beans instead of the falafel with the Israeli salad and the Greek yogurt sauce. Honey, this is what's going down. This is what I'm having for my lunch this week. Nice, light deliciousness in effect. My name is Sharon of Divine Taste Cooking. I am happy to serve you all. Check out my website. If you learned something, what do they say? Like, share if you care, subscribe, all of that stuff. I'm grateful. So check you guys later. Ciao for now. Bon appetito.